Good morning. This is Carl Potter. Welcome to Safety Meeting. This is a special safety meeting to make you aware of an incident that took place that took the life of a state trooper in the state of Oklahoma. Want to give you some information about that. If you want to know any more, you can probably find out about it on any particular details on the internet. But what I want to do this morning for you is to make you aware, because this being a public safety officer or there is a state trooper, they're the best drivers, and this state trooper happened to have a long and very decorated career as a state trooper. But it doesn't take much just to take your eyes off the task for just a moment of driving for it to turn fatal. And in this case it did, and we certainly want to prevent that in the future. So this morning what I want to do is review what took place as I have been told, and want to share this with you. If you are a driver of any kind of vehicle, whether it be a company vehicle or whether it be a personal vehicle, if you have kids driving, please share this video with them. Sit down, talk to them about the reason this happened, and kind of you might say the physics behind it, because there's a lot to do with the opticals and the way this complex situation happened. But it's very easy to rectify if we just follow a simple tip, and I'll show you that in just a moment, and you'll figure it out in just a moment once I start to tell you about this. But let's go to the board here in my classroom at Potter & Associates International. I'll show you what we had. So here I've drawn the diagram. This was a highway that the trooper was going to enter, and at that point he was coming off of a turnpike, which is on this side right here. He was going off the turnpike, and another driver was coming onto the turnpike. So this is an entrance and exit, kind of a complex little spot here in Oklahoma. And I've driven it many times, and I can see where this could get you in trouble if you didn't follow a simple tip. So follow me along with this. What was taking place, and by the way, this highway right here is a four-lane dual divided highway. So what's happening is, going this way are the north traffic, and then the south traffic going this way. The trooper that was on this side decided to, or didn't decide, but he was headed for a northern passage. In other words, he was going to turn right here, going to turn left and go north on this highway. Now, what took place at that point is, obviously he's in a lower car. He was in like a sedan. So he's driving, he looks out and notices that it doesn't look like anything's coming. Now the reason that took place is that in this case there was a large truck that was turning onto the turnpike. Now if you'll notice where the trooper's car is right here, and where the larger truck was right here, it was blocking the view of a truck that was hid behind the other truck. Along with that, there's a rise in the terrain right there, so it complicated everything right there where the trooper couldn't see. In fact, it began to build kind of what I like to call a funnel type blind spot. And what happens is, when you look out, if you notice, the trooper's got about an 18-inch window, 18 to 20-inch window open here, or not open, but that he's looking for. In other words, his field of view. But as I've drawn the lines here and shown you, the blind spot can get much wider because of the angle and the position that he was in. And vehicles are moving. So what was happening was, these two trucks are moving right almost side by side, and following the speed limit, following the rules of the road, and yet he was hid, a 10-ton dump truck was hid behind this other truck. That's what the trooper didn't see. And from his viewpoint, he wouldn't have been able to see it because it would have been blocked by the other truck and the terrain. However, here's what could have prevented what happened. If the trooper had waited right there and thought ahead and said, something could be hid behind there, which I'm sure if he was here today with us, he would say, you know what, I just messed it up, because I know that. Because we learn this in defensive driving and classes like that. So take a look at this. If you understand what happened, he's sitting here, he's going to make his left turn, he looks, this truck is turning, it's slowed down, it's making the turn. But behind it was another truck, a 10-ton dump truck. When he thought that it was clear and made an assumption there wasn't anything behind that truck, he pulled out, and the dump truck had no recourse. The only way was straight ahead. There wasn't anywhere to go, and he hit the trooper broadside. When he did, the injuries eventually took his life. And that's the sad part, because he was like I said, a much decorated public servant, and he will be missed by the community and his family. It didn't need to happen had he followed one close tip. Today, I want you to talk to your workers. Take this, and I'd encourage you to show it to your family and talk about what can happen here, because you don't have to be a state trooper, you don't have to be a utility truck driver or delivery truck driver or anything else for this to happen. This is on a public highway. Again, the blind spot happens when two vehicles are moving side by side like this, and somebody's looking from here. The vision or the optics, the way that works, is going to block your way. So what you've got to do is sit there and wait until, for a fact, you can look and see that it's clear. Otherwise, you may find yourself looking down the throat of a very large vehicle or even a small vehicle. If this had been a car, it could have been just as bad an outcome. This is Carl Potter. Today, let's take some time to talk about this. Talk about this with your friends. Talk about this with your family. If you have teenage drivers, sit down and talk to them about the blind spots when you're turning at a 4-lane intersection. And our prayers and our thoughts go out to the state trooper and his family here in Oklahoma. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you later.